Greetings YouTube viewers, this is GG Your Face, and I'm going to be talking about a game between Skutt and ChewBroCColi. Skutt is going to be playing as the green Zerg at the lower left hand corner, and ChewBroCColi will be playing as the yellow Terran at the upper right hand corner. ChewBroCColi is going to start with the supply depot at the top of his ramp to start that wall in. Steps of War is a one-on-one map. It is a smaller map, and it's really important for you to block off your ramp, especially if you're a Protoss or a Terran, because those bailings are that deadly. If your wall-in is not bailing proof, you could pretty much lose the game. It's like throwing scissors when the other guy is throwing rocks. So it's really important that you do have a bailing proof wall off. And he's going to continue with the barracks after the supply depot. Meanwhile, Skutt has started the extractor. He does have one overlord in the middle, and he's going to be sending out one drone. This drone probably not going to be putting down the hatchery as he's flying across the middle of the map. Another SCV is coming across probably as a scout, and they will meet at the bottom of the ramp, and looks like Skutt wants to engage. It looks like he had a head fake there, and we do see the spawning pool is going down. The Overlord will spot the SCV as it's flying past, and we do see a little harassment for that SCV, and that drone is hitting the other SCV in the back. We can see the HP are decreasing, and both these SCVs are pretty much low on HP, and this drone might actually die. Ooh, very, very close there. One more hit would have been gone. The refinery is up and running for ChewBroCColi, and he's morphing in an orbital command at the moment, and this drone is very, very close to death, and he's gonna steal the gas. Stealing the gas will pretty much limit your opponent's options a little bit, and we see an engineering bay. A lot of people like to build the engineering bay instead of the barracks, is because the engineering bay takes about half a minute, I think around 35 seconds to build, and it's about 4/5 the HP of the barracks, so it's more HP per second, if you will, and it's more efficient because you're probably gonna lose it anyway. And the engineering bay is about to finish. The extractor has gone up. He did not cancel the extractor and is currently being worked by 2 Marines, and a couple of Zerglings are gonna come out here, and I don't think he spotted it yet, and no, he still hasn't spotted this engineering bay. The extractor is going down in the middle. ChewBroCColi says haha, but I don't think Skutt at this point knows what he's talking about. And Skutt flies over with that overlord, and I think he finally spots the engineering bay at the edge of his screen, and he is making additional Zerglings as well as getting the metabolic boost for his Zerglings, and ChewBroCColi finally sees that his work is paying off, and ooh, we see a hidden expansion for Skutt. This is actually relatively close to ChewBroCColi at the gold for Skutt is going down. A reactor is about to finish for the barracks, but he's probably going to use it for the Hellions as he's switching the barracks as well as the factory. There's 2 Marines inside that was able to defend from some of the Zergling. And we do see the command center is currently being built, and the engineering bay that once stood there has been shot down by the Zerglings, and the bunker is going up behind the supply depot. This is a very, very good wall-in with 2 production facilities and a bunker behind the supply depot, making it completely Zergling proof. The Zerglings, Bailings proof. The Bailings could take down the supply depot, but they would probably not be able to take down the production facility unless you invest very, very heavily in the Bailings. And we see the second extractor is going up, and the Bailing's nest is about to be complete for Skutt at the moment. Skutt probably this time is relatively happy that he has taken the gold expansion. I don't believe ChewBroCColi sees it. This is ChewBroCColi's map. He does not see the gold expansion that is about to go up for Skutt, and ChewBroCColi is trying to get his Hellions out, but I think he blocked himself a little bit, or maybe he wasn't sure. He's bringing over an additional SCV. If we take a look at the army count, 34 to 34, very, very tight race, and we do see 2 Bailings for Skutt at the top of his ramp. Probably wants a simultaneous explosion should anything come his way. This one Overlord is overlooking the set of destructible rocks, and this one Zergling will give him a little advanced notice that there's a couple of Hellions coming. A second orbital command is going down for the recently started command center. A couple of more Hellions coming, as well as 1 Queen for his yellow expansion, and we do see very, very nicely timed Bailings, and the Bailings took these Hellions down to very, very low HP, but these Hellions are microing very, very well against these Zerglings, but he did lose one of them over there, and this one Hellion is still trying to micro. A lot more Zerglings are being produced by Skutt because he thinks there's additional pressure coming, but I don't think there's that much additional pressure. Maybe a couple of Hellions, and this Hellion's actually retreating. And it looks like ChewBroCColi is going to move out to grab his own expansion, and he's going to keep his Hellions inside his base to protect it. Right now we do see another switch between the barracks and the factory, probably going to be pumping out a couple of more Marines. An engineering bay is going down, and we do see a bunch of SCVs being transferred at the moment. If we take a look at ChewBroCColi's vision, once again, he still does not see this gold expansion that is up for Skutt, so he still does not know there's anything going on. He probably thinks that the Zerg player, Skutt, has not really expanded. So ChewBroCColi is happy, and he's going to be taking a defensive position. He is going to scout once again with his Hellions possibly. And if we take a look at the army count, 46 to 44, relatively close. And right now, with these couple of Hellions, he will be able to spot the gold expansion that has recently gone up for his opponent. He does see the creep there if he does not have control of the Zerg Watchtower, as there was a one Zergling at that location. So now he finally realizes that his opponent has this location. Let's see how he responds. He is going to put down a couple of missile turrets. Meanwhile, Skutt has gotten the Infestor. Infestor is a very, very useful unit. You don't really need a lot of air units like Mutalisks to deal with drops, because with an Infestor, you can pretty much fungal growth a medevac and then spew out a couple of infested Terrans, and that will take it down no problem. Same thing with Vikings and Banshees. A very, very useful unit, the Infestor. If we take a look at the income tab right now, even though the Zerg player Skutt has the gold expansion, he doesn't have as many mules as the Terran player, and the Terran player is going to be moving out. ChewBroCColi is going to move out and try to take down the gold expansion. The income is slight in favor of ChewBroCColi because he had those mules momentarily, and looks like he's going to try to come in here and try to do some damage. He does have Siege Tank and Siege Tech, and this one Infestor putting a fungal growth. Wow, that is a lot of very, very hurt Marines. A couple of Zerglings are going to try to come in here and surround, but these Marines, actually got shot by his own tank. I think he almost took down 3 or 4 of his own Marines, and I think this Queen might be able to hold this charge, and very barely ChewBroCColi does injure it, and infested Terran. It gets put right next to the tank, and actually a Zergling took it down, and a couple of more Zerglings is going to come. This tank was rallied to that rally point and probably regrets being rallied there, as it is being taken down by a lot of Zerglings. If we take a look at the army count, 63 to 51, slight in favor of Skutt. ChewBroCColi does have a couple of SCV idle for a couple of moments there, as he was trying to micromanage his units to try to take down the gold expansion. We do see Hive, it looks like, coming from the lair of Skutt, and he also got another hatchery at the natural expansion, so he does have 3 bases and 3 hatchery at the moment. That's a lot of production capabilities, and he's also getting the +1 armor, which is a very, very good upgrade for the Zerg, because +1 armor works for all the ground units, and it's very, very good whether or not you choose to use roaches and hydralisks. But it looks like he's probably going to be sticking with melee this time. If we take a look at inside the army of the base of ChewBroCColi, he does have SCVs in the back. He only has a couple of tanks, it looks like. He has 2 tanks, a couple of Marines, and a couple of Marauders, whereas Skutt has a lot, and I do mean a lot, of Zerglings as well as Infestors. A very, very healthy mix, and we do see one of these bunkers are being salvaged, whereas the other one is still there at the moment. I think he might be thinking about making another charge to the gold. He really wants to disable that gold expansion, because he is only going to be as good as his resource is going to be able to provide for him. We do see one Marine coming here to take a poke and a look at the Zerg forces as he's moving up. Another fungal growth, very, very good fungal growth, goes off on a pack of units, and a couple of Zerglings running from the back. These Marines are 0-0, whereas the Zerglings are still 0-0 at the moment, but the 0-1 is about to finish at any time. Another fungal growth goes off, and a couple of Zerglings are swarming in here, taking down the Marauders and the Marines, and this one Queen comes over to help, and he will be able to actually take down that siege tank. A couple of Marauders and 1 additional Marines showing up to reinforce. A lot of Zerglings are being produced at this time. Skutt really wants to hold this, but these infantry units are shooting at the extractor, and they're not really focus firing anything. And a lot more Zerglings are coming here. I think he just rallied them there and just have them attack anything. That was not the best idea, I think, and ChewBroCColi is paying for it a little bit. He does have his forces coming, but they are a little bit scattered. But now he does have a siege tank. He should probably siege it up, and as soon as he can, he is going to siege it up at the corner. Bunch of Zerglings coming from the back right when it sieges. And ooh, we see an Ultralisk spawn, and this Ultralisk will be able to chew through this infantry, and a lot more Zerglings are coming. And we do see in the production tab a lot of Ultralisks for Skutt, and Skutt should be able to hold this charge. And there is 1-2 medevacs following around that Ultralisk for some reason. A little bit micro there by ChewBroCColi, as ChewBroCColi is trying to rally up his forces. Supply is at 104 to 80, and it looks like the medevac was able to get away. Right now we see a lot of upgrades going up for the Zerg player. He does have 0-1 upgrades, and he also has the Ultralisk upgrade, which gives the Ultralisk 2 additional armor, which is very, very good. And he's also taking this hatchery, and he's spewing creep on this location. I believe Skutt does have firm control. I think the Terran player, ChewBroCColi, really needs to do something. He does have 1, 2, 3, 4. He's getting 2 more barracks, it looks like. And he's going to have 6 barracks pretty soon. But Skutt at any time can just summon a wall of mailings, and that would hurt tremendously. A bunch of Ultralisks is being produced at the moment. ChewBroCColi does have very, very good range with his siege tanks, and these are pretty good locations to put them slightly behind and next to a building or an edge to reduce the surface area of the possible surround from the Zerg unit. But if we take a look at the unit army count, 143 to 117, very, very heavily in favor of the Zerg player, as he does have a tremendous amount of income, but the mule is helping the Terran player, ChewBroCColi, quite a bit. He once again is sending out that one marine to check out the creep as well as the enemy forces, and a bunch of Ultralisks are going to happily surround this one marine and take it down. The Ultralisk at 1-3 upgrades at moment, and the Zerglings are 1-1, and we see a huge battle. Fungal Core goes off on the medevac, forcing them to engage. Very, very nice play there from the infestors, and these tanks don't really know what to shoot at. They're shooting at the Ultralisk. He does take down one of the Ultralisks. Another Ultralisk is still alive, and these marines are pelting away. The Ultralisk is going to try to take down that tank. Pretty uneven battle there, but ChewBroCColi was able to pull through, and additional Ultralisks coming from the south, some Zerglings coming from the north, and these Ultralisks should be able to take care of this tank, and the tank doesn't really stand that much of a chance. These Ultralisks are simply chewing through these infantry units, and even though there's 4 medevacs, they can't really do too much. All of the infantry units are gone, and we do see a push coming in from Skutt, and Skutt with his nicely upgraded 1-4 Ultralisk coming in, going to try to take down this bunker, even though it's not being repaired. And this tank will go down pretty fast as these Ultralisks are coming within range of these SCVs. These SCVs probably run for it, or maybe not run for it, as he's trying to back into his base, trying to get into a corner, trying to do some shots. A lot of SCVs are going down to a couple of Zerglings at the natural expansion, and these infantry units are outnumbered by these Ultralisks. The Ultralisks are chewing through this infantry, and the infantry are spawning, but they're just running around. They're not really doing anything. They're going to the rally point, but they're not attacking. And these medevacs don't really have too much to heal at the moment, and a couple of infested Terrans are going to come out and assist these Ultralisks, and additional Ultralisks in the production tab for Skutt. And ChewBroCColi finally takes down one of the Ultralisks, another Ultralisk still inside the base, along with a couple of infested Terran. A lot of units are swarming too, and ChewBroCColi does call GG. Hope you guys enjoy that. Game number 2 will be coming your way very, very shortly, as Skutt tries and decides what map he does not want. So I'll see you guys at game number 2. If you like what you see, please subscribe. Thanks. See you guys at the next game.